I still have the original sketchbooks and notes that I used to make the Hearth Book. I just combined my notes to make the Hearth Book. The Hearth Book is my combined notes. I'll show you guys. So here are pieces from my notebooks that made the Hearth Book. I'm about to prove to you guys who the author really is. So check this out, Zach. These are my notes. These are my drawings. Why would you lie and tell your followers that I stole the Hearth Book? What do you have to gain from lying to all of your followers that I stole the Hearth Book? What you have to gain is your reputation that you have right now, that I helped you build. What you have is that $3 million home that you're renting right now, that I helped you pay for, that I helped you acquire by helping you build your website. That brings you your income. That's right. So this is the rough draft. This is the final draft. This was my notes. This here was my sketchbook, okay? And I wrote a bunch of notes in here. My son even drew on it. But these are definitely my notes. Taurus fields. All right, lots of notes. Written on the front and back. Machiavelli, the Don Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory. This was my sketch pad. You'll see pages like this. These are very tall, very large pages. They're not normal sized like these ones. So this page is much smaller than these tall pages. So you'll see the new versions that I did, including that one. And so look, these are my notes right here. I drew this. I had to cut this image out from one of the from one of these sketch. This is like this is like construction paper compared to the computer paper. So this construction paper was cut out of here. You can see how you can hear the roughness. It's like cardboard, very rough, okay? It's not soft like these ones. These pages that are in here, they're very flimsy. This is the rough draft that helped me make pages like this. It started with pages like this. And on the rough draft, there's lowercase mixed with the uppercase. Right there, that's proof that I didn't steal anything. This is the rough draft that helped me make this draft. Let's see if we can find anything that is similar. Nikola Tesla disliked Hertzian wave technology. Right here. Tesla disliked Hertzian technology, and he called Albert Einstein a beggar wrapped in purple clothing that the people take for a king. This whole page was from my notes. You can tell by the size, it's much bigger, so it wasn't ripped out of a journal. It's from a sketch pad, which I have all over the place. I have all kinds of sketch pads, big ones, little ones. Look, I take my notes in sketch pads, and it's full of notes. Full of notes. Full of notes. Capital, lowercase. I'll show you my writing. You guys know my writing. I want this one. I'm going to show you where this was. So it says here, the deacons, Santos Bonacci, right here, 36 deacons. So this was the rough draft. This is the final copy. And on the back, it continues what was here. Okay, so I didn't take anybody's notes that I used to make the Hearth Book, which is no one else's notes, because I have no reason to steal anybody's journal when I have all these notebooks that I use, okay? And you can't even see the thickness of all the stacks that I have. Okay, so listen, I didn't just write a book. I actually made discoveries. I have inventions. I made this into a physical piece. This drawing is an illustration of what I invented. I can actually put a straw through a piece of paper with this drawn on it, cut it out and stick that piece of paper on top of another piece of paper. And that's how I made my 3D astral chart. It's a physical version of a two-dimensional astral chart, which you'll see online. And mine works without internet, without electricity. It works with the movement of your hand. It's a manual three-dimensional astral chart. And this is what it looks like. You cut out the square and you place it on top of the circle, and you can move the square above the circle by putting the straw through the belly button of the man, which runs through the center of the world. It's right here. So I have discoveries, I have inventions, and these are my drawings. So when you discredit my authorship and my penmanship, you're also discrediting my drawings. I didn't steal these drawings from anybody, and I didn't steal these notes from anybody. I actually sat there and studied hours and hours and months or years worth of hours, because I spend all day and night researching and listening to my favorite teachers all day long, while you sit there and play video games on your live streams. So don't try to discredit me because you told me yourself that you could have never done anything like I did. Well, no one's asking you to write books. Do what you do best, Zach, which is play video games online and brag about how they increase your hand-eye coordination. That's bravo for you. I hope you become the best video game player in the world, Zach. I honestly mean that. But don't take away my authorship or my penmanship or my artistry. Thank you. I did nothing but research and draw to make this book because, see, this book took hours and hours of researching just so I had to put the pieces together to get the whole puzzle. My book is the entire puzzle because I gathered the pieces. So for Zach to say I stole it from some woman, her notes don't have half of 1% of what my book contains. Because I study so many topics, someone out there is bound to have some similar notes as me. But to say that she's the author of my work, it's not mostly writings, it's actually mostly images. Because like the cover says, it's a compilation of syncretism. This is all my compiled research from many different notebooks and sketchbooks, different sizes. I have notes written on tiny little handheld. Look how tiny this is compared to this one. I have notes on tiny little. I have notes on here too. Check this out. I take notes on math. Where's her math notes at? That's what I want to see. I want to see her drawings and her math notes. And me. Her name. Yeah, and what's her name? I want to see if she even exists, Zach. Because I do this. I have nothing to lie about. You have everything to lose. Zach, your $3 million mansion. So why would you lie about me? Because I came out and said that you're not paying me. You're treating all your business partners and affiliates unfairly. I'm supposed to be your brother. And you got mad because you thought that I felt entitled to your university. You told me that we were building a university together. You said, let's wake up the world. Let's make these millions. I need help with my university. Please share my university on your page. Please promote the university. Bring people to the university. Tell them how they can learn how to leave their bodies. It's not fair that you tell me my books aren't selling when I don't just write books for you. I write scripts for you. I wrote a script for your birthday. I wrote a script for you just to impress someone. And that could have been anybody. That could have been the person who you said offered you a $40 million deal. And you didn't even tell me who it was that I'm supposed to be impressing. You just asked me to write you a script because you want to sound knowledgeable. You told me I had more knowledge than you. I just didn't know how to apply it, you said. And then you proceeded to take advantage of that. These are my hand drawings. I didn't steal these from anybody. None of my drawings are ripped out of a journal, by the way. They're ripped out of sketch pads, which are meant to be ripped out of. A journal has threads, so it can't be ripped out. These sketch pads have indents, and it tells you where to tear it out from to avoid mess. That's why all of my pages are clean on the edges, because they weren't ripped out of no journal. I studied math, I studied languages, and I always loved to draw. Always. I proved the flat earth in my book. I proved the ether exists using facts, logic, and wisdom. I made discoveries that the seraphim in the Bible, the sixth winged angel, that has 2 wings to cover their face, 2 wings to cover their feet, and 2 wings to fly, is just the electromagnetic field that exists within and without, which is part of everyone's beingness. I proved how all atoms are polarized, which means all atoms have a north and south pole, which means all atoms have a plane of inertia separating that north and south pole, because the north and south pole are just 2 high pressures coming out of the plane of inertia, which is the lowest pressure zone. That's why Saturn has flat rings. That's why the Milky Way galaxy is a flat disk. I proved this. Thanks to the help of people like Ken Wheeler and Santos Bonacci, of course, and Dan Winter, and Manly P. Hall. So look, this sketch pad right here, I had a bunch of notes in here. Bunch of notes, okay? These are all my notes. So look, this one I used for the Hearth Book right there. This was the original drawing. See? This is old. I don't even have the back cover to this notebook. So, I need an apology and I need respects to be paid. Because I did a lot for the truth community, for the spiritual community. And I deserve respect. I deserve recognition. I don't deserve to be accused of theft and just being accused of things that are untrue. I did all this hard work. I cut and pasted and glued and had rough drafts and final drafts. And then I colorized everything so you guys can read it clearly. See, the truth brought me peace of mind. And math, I love math. Did I steal anybody's math notes? I can't believe that I'm being called a thief. It's horrible. Look at all these drawings. Beautiful. I'm so much better in pencil. It would just take so much longer to do. I can't wait to have future drawings and make future books when I have all the time in the world to do so. My book was a free research. My book was not a book. It was just freely available for anybody to download. It was all my research. Zach downloaded it for free along with all the other people who downloaded it for free, except Zach uploaded it to his website and asked me if I wanted 50% of every sale. He was intending to sell it and make money. It was free. That's how it ended up on his website. It was free, and Zach saw my book as a business opportunity. So people tell me, oh, all you care about is money. Money got to your head. I never cared about money. That's why it was free to begin with. You think Zach's ever going to tell you that? This snake is not just one snake. It's 2 different pieces of paper. I didn't like the head on this body, and I didn't like the body on that head, so I put that head on that body. So yeah, this is my hard work. And look, I write in capital letters, I write in lowercase. Zach was trying to say that all the uppercase wasn't mine. Insane accusation, by the way. Look at this right here. He has 3 pairs of arms and 3 pairs of legs. And he has chicken legs like Astarte, Ishtar. So yeah, this is fire right here. This is an original drawing of mine. You won't see that anywhere. He's inside the seed of life. This right here, this cover, I have it here. Right there. I'm sure you guys remember this. See how it's all capitals on the front? Look at that. Lowercase and capital on the back. I dare anybody to try to deny my handwriting. So yeah, this was from my notes from my sketch pad. And then it became the real thing, got published for the book. I actually think this vortex is better than the published vortex. So I wish I could put this on top of that, which I could do. I'll do it for the physical copy of the Hearth Book. Trust me, it's going to be so much perfected. I rushed to get it finished for Zach. My book was rushed. So when Zach says, oh, your book doesn't flow all together, it's not a story from A to B. It's A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F. My book is just a bunch of different topics put together. It's a compilation. I've already proved that. So those notes were taken at different times. I was in different moods. Regardless, it's my handwriting, and he's going to have an impossible time trying to prove it because he can't. Zach, you're making a mistake. I'm telling you right now. But oh well, you're not going to listen to me because, like you said, you're on her side. You're not on the side of the truth. which should have been your answer, you're on her side no matter if it's true or not. The truth is, I wrote this book and you didn't even ask me if I stole the journal or not. Because to be honest, if she has a stolen journal, but she doesn't have proof that I stole it or I stumbled upon it, and that's a big difference. You better have proof that I broke into someone's house, reached into their drawers, took their notes, and ran out of the house with it. Because if not, you're defaming me and you're telling people for a fact that I stole something. How do you know I didn't stumble upon something? I could have been walking and found a journal on the ground, but you didn't even ask me. And that's definitely not the case. I wrote this book 1000%. And my son was there, my roommate was there, my parents were there when I wrote and drew it. I FaceTimed my wife while I was drawing this. She saw me on live on TikTok, on Instagram. Thousands, if not millions of people saw me make this book from scratch. Zachariah, why would you do that to yourself? Must be time for that $10,000 a month rent, huh? You must be desperate to pay that rent or something, Zach. Here is an original note from the Hearth Book. The hexagram as well as the yin and yang are representations of the Hermetic laws of physics. The hexagram as well as the yin and yang, the Ouroboros, the swastika, the flower of life, the dream catcher are representations of the Hermetic laws of physics and encodes the toroidal dynamics which generates all balance, movement, and life in the universe. Generates all balance, movement, and life in the universe. This is an eternal archetype pattern which explains creation through the language of light. This is an eternal archetypal pattern which explains creation through the language of light. So yeah, if you want to claim these are two different handwritings, so be it. Prove it's not in court. Prove me wrong, Zach. Prove that these are not both my handwritings. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, look, and on the back of it, it's showing another page in my book. Let's pull that up. That looks familiar. Wow, those look like my notes. It is my notes. So not only can I prove one page, I can prove I did 2 pages. Look, this one's written in lowercase, and that one's written in uppercase. Yet, voila. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, Zach? So look, guys, I have all these notes. I just have notes on notes on notes. And if you want to say, I stole these notes, like, good luck. Good luck trying to claim that I stole any of this.
Or that it's not your writing, or that your family didn't.
That's what I'm saying. This is my writing, okay? Look it. That is 1000% my handwriting. Why would you claim it isn't? Why?
What kind of person does that?
What kind of person does that? Tries to take the credibility away from someone. Like, I bled, sweated, and cried during all of this. Wow.
After he stole from you the whole time, now he wants to say some shit like that.
This is all my handwriting, Zach. The Quran stands for knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, nature. Santos Bonacci, Sam Best method. Syncretic astrological atomical model. Bonacci ecliptic sine wave torus field. Thank you, Santos. Written in pencil. And this is what I used to make this. Electricity at the bottom. Magnetism, dielectricity. I stole no one's notes. I don't need to. I have no reason to lie. So yeah, you'll see writings on...
You say you have nothing but notes. The only thing people can take from you are notes because you have nothing else, and he has made sure that you have nothing else. You got pen, you got the notes.
Look at this. I got all the notes. Ooh, I found it. So look. I drew this in pencil. I scanned this drawing and then I printed it out. And look, I wrote in lowercase here. I added math to it. There's no way this is stolen, even if there is different types of handwritings. Look, lowercase capital. You can't. Saying I stole this is literally illegal. That's a crime.
I know.
So listen, I'm not just a science teacher, I'm a math teacher. Because I studied it. I was a student of math. I am a student of math. I can't wait to teach you guys more math. You might say, you can't teach us anything with that slop and squiggly, disastrous, horrible looking piece of paper. That is one Frankenstein sheet of paper. Sure, but these Frankenstein pieces of paper become beautiful masterpieces. I can teach with this. I can teach you the 12 parts of the body, the 12 zodiac signs, teach you the torus field, the plane of inertia, north and south pole, red and blue shift, masculine, feminine, magnetic field, spirit, energy, earth itself, matter, the torus field, magnetism, the spiral of life, the golden ratio, Fibonacci sequence, the infinite golden ratio. And yeah, these are loose drawings inside the lamination. Drawings upon drawings upon drawings. And I didn't just steal this from an online image. Sure, I had reference, but I added the Aries on the ram horn and the Taurus on the bull horn. He has ram horns and bull horns. That's right. Enki, Enlil, Tiamat, and Adamu. The original Garden of Eden. The original story of Adam and Eve from Sumeria. Look at all these torus fields.
If we get money, we walk to the store.
How dare you say I stole something? Yes.
Actually, I don't know if we can walk all the way.
Vegan diet, lifestyle. These are earlier names before it was Jesus. Janus, Bacchus, Ius, Julio, Apollo, Delios, Loxius, Phanes, Lulius, Ebules, Sabazius, Dionysus, Liber, Meton, Hades, Osiris, Draco, Serapis, Yao, Mars, Adonis, Attis, Asclepius, Hercules, Jupiter, Saturn, Pan, Mercury, Horus, Iamblichus. Thank you, Santos Bonacci. So listen, folks, without a doubt, this is my handwriting. Look at that word notes. I box my words. So yes, that's lowercase, but that's not different from this. Gosh, man. I can't believe you guys are actually believing Zach just because he has more followers, just because he's in a $3 million mansion. Really? Okay. Yeah, just because Zach's not wearing nail polish and didn't tattoo his face, he's telling the truth. That just shows that you guys are very judgmental, and it means that you guys have a lot of work to do. I'm not sitting here claiming someone else's work. I'm not making money from someone else's book and then say, oh, the person who made the book that I'm getting rich off of didn't even make the book. That just sounds like the person who's getting rich off of the book is trying to remain getting rich off the book and trying to erase the creator of the book so that they can own that book. It sounds like Zach has always wanted my book and has taken my book and now is trying to erase me from my book. He asked me to send him the model of the exact same glasses that I was wearing because he wanted to get them as well. He wanted to be twins. So wait, you're making money from my book. You use my book to promote your school, your university, and all your platforms. You use my book and you repeat my words and use my scripts to grow your following so that you can just bash me and tell people that I stole the book that you and your 400 affiliates are making money from and I get nothing. And you told me not to rap and not to make music. But then you asked me to make you a rap. And I have the proof. I sent you the lyrics and the verse. And I said, straight out of Hawaii. I wrote that rap for you.